How's it going, everybody? It's Frisby Moonsong here. Yow! And today what we are going to be doing is we're doing a little bit of a prediction video for the upcoming band list that's coming in next year, at the beginning of the year, in January, halfway through January, I believe, or somewhere around there. Not 100% sure, but no sooner than the 17th, so it might just be the end of January, but might as well do a prediction video now, because that's what YouTubers do. But anyway, we're going to be doing that because obviously we want to see if we get stuff right, and the last prediction, or the last ban list that happened at the beginning of the year was a huge massacre. If you remember, Engage getting banned, Colossus getting banned, Salamangrates getting completely destroyed. It was insane. And maybe we'll have something like that because there's a lot of decks that have been around for quite a while doing quite a lot. So obviously, if you remember from this video as well, we're doing a giveaway for the 200 subscribers. Thank you so much, you guys, for all the support you've been giving me, and hopefully 2022 will bring us to the road to 1,000 subscribers. Crossing fingers, and we'll see what we can get. But here we go for the Wheel of Names for the last time this year in 2021. We're going for the Wheel of Names. Good luck to all of you who are going to be entering, and we'll see what happens. And thank you so much to Solarpop and Unplug Yourself, our sponsors that have helped us so much throughout the year. So the winner of the file is... Oh, that was close! Dr. Fireball, congratulations! You are the winner of the Egyptian God card file, I believe it was. Yes, you are the winner of that, so congratulations. Please send me your details, and we'll get right to that. So, moving on to the stuff. Oh, okay, well, we already see what we've got here. So, before I give too many spoilers, going to 3, I think... Emergency teleport. You didn't see that coming. Emergency teleport going to 3 I think will be really awesome. I mean, virtual worlds are really good. They haven't been topping as much. It hasn't been seeing too much impact. I just think going to 3, it's already gone to 2. And I think what Konami was doing was testing the waters to see how it would do. But I think it can go to 3 and people can do some really cool plays. Maybe it will see Ghost Ogre back into play, because Ghost Ogre is obviously a psychic and a tuner. So that could really work some wonders as well. So I think E-Tele going to 3 will be super awesome. And then obviously Cosmos maybe can get a little bit more support from that. It'll be really interesting to see. Also, to bring out support for the new Punk archetype that's coming out, this would be really cool to sell that. So Konami might think about that. We don't know. But yes, that's the first card I think might be going to 3. Second card going to 3, I believe we will have the double Iris Magician. And of course, let's go to the Skull Crobat Joker, which obviously these haven't made any impact yet. But we're having the new Link coming out later on in the year. So I think this will bring about a lot of hype for that. And it hasn't really impacted pendulums as much. I still have not seen anyone playing pendulums, even though this stuff came out, even though it's really good cards and really helps the deck become more consistent. It hasn't really done too much to the deck, so I think they will eventually just put both of these to 3 and think nothing of it until maybe the next Link comes out, then they'll adjust it from there. But yes, I think these haven't been too much of a problem. These are obviously minor things that people already see, going to 3. If we see it at 3 on the next list, we'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then the next card going to 3, because it doesn't matter whether this is at 1 or 3, because it can only be summoned once per turn, is Denglong. Obviously, we're petitioning for Denglong to come back. I understand it's very generic. However, I do believe if they can errata it to either being a worm tuner or having the non-tuner monsters be worm, I think it will be really awesome. And also, considering what we're thinking of being banned on this list, I think it will be really helpful. So yes, I think that is one card that we can look at for being banned. Oh, there's one card limited. I actually nearly forgot, but you know what? I'll slide that in closer when we get to the limited section. But yes, I think Denglong coming back to 3 with an errata on the tuner or non-tuner monster being worm. I think that would be really awesome for Sword Soul as well, and for like just Yangzing and everything like that. That we can bring that Yangzing Metal Foes can maybe become a thing again. Tenyi on its own can be a little bit stronger. I think it will be really good for that. Then moving on, we have going to 2, I believe will be Ashuna, because you need to hit some sort of the consistency of Sword Soul, and considering what else we're going to be hitting on the list, maybe this going to 2 or going to 1 would be quite optimal. So this will be something that might be looking to get hit in the future. We'll see. Not so sure. It'll be kind of sad for the Tenyi deck, but yeah, Sword Soul are really abusing this a lot. But to be fair, also if they hit this, Swartzel might just elope to Destiny Fusion, or Fusion Destiny and DBE Swartzel. But we'll see how it goes. Then moving on to the semi-limit, still I think we are going to have some part of the invoked engine is either going to be semi-limited or limited. I think the card that can be limited would be Magical Meltdown. I think that can be limited to 1. That would be a strong hit to the deck, but it still makes the deck playable. Or you can put Alistair to at least 2 or to 1, depending on how you want to play the deck. The 1 Alistair might hurt quite a lot. It depends on what you want to do. I don't think this is the insane problem. Yes, normal summon Alistair and you get a free monster is really, really good, but I think this is like, it's good in decks that don't require their normal summon, and it's a free engine. It's really, really nice, but I don't think it's the most powerful part of the deck. It just sets up 1 negates, and it does have a really nice toolbox, but I don't think it's insanely broken. Maybe the Meltdown stopping the fusion summons from being negated, that could be the problem card, so that means being bumped down a little bit will probably be the major hit. Also, going into the kind of Shadow Invoke Dogmatica board, we will have Nadirs Servant. This could either go to 2 or to 1, depending. It could still go to 2, because I know they're still wanting to sell the Elbaz stuff, so this could still be a thing in that deck, but however, the potency and the spammability of this card in almost every single deck these days. It's being played in Evil Twins, Eldritch, you name it, it can play it in the deck, as long as it doesn't, as long as it like still has a space in the extra deck. You just need to put what, an Ash Dragon and an Intis, and now it's like a really amazing engine that can get you a negate and a double pop or something. It's really, really, really good, really splashable and really, really nice, especially for control decks. And I think it's something to look at bringing down, because this on its own can easily be like a +2, +3 with Up Cologne. It's really, really insane. So this we could see maybe taking a hit to at least semi-limited, I would say. Then moving on to the limited list, we have the Recital Styling. I think bringing down the consistency of Bird Up is going to be one big thing. So that's one thing that we can look at with regards to trying to reduce the potency of the Bird Up deck, which is really, really insane right now. So yeah, this, I think, because they make multiple of these a turn, I think this either going to 1, I don't think they'll ban it, I think it'll be too much to ban it, but the multiple searches of this is quite a lot for the deck, so yeah, they need to hit the consistency somewhat. And then the other card I think is gonna be limited to 1. I don't think they're gonna hit this entirely, but I think it will be Fusion Destiny. Yes, the card that I was mentioning, Fusion Destiny, I believe will be hit to 1, because I understand, yeah, it's an insane card and you just play it in a deck and spam and Verte. Yeah, Verte is crazy and really, really good, but I think it also helps a lot of the fusion decks. But I think for this, once you've, like, if you use Verte for the 1 Fusion Destiny, or you draw the Fusion Destiny, it really, really hurts the Verte, and it makes the Verte kind of useless. So I think limiting this to 1 will actually do a lot for that engine, because now you're relying on drawing this over the 2 bricks, and if you draw this, it's really, really bad. And also, if your Verte gets negated, it just, you've got 2 bricks in your deck, and I think that will really make it a lot better, because a lot of the time people just end by activating this directly from hand, even without the Verte. I know some people are saying Verte is still the problem because Dragoon and stuff, but if you notice, even so, Dragoon hasn't seen a lot of competitive play lately. I mean, because this has taken precedence over it. The thing is, Dragoon as well does give you 2 vanillas to brick on at the time, and even so, people usually play 1 or 2 Red Eyes fusions, and it's mostly in combo decks that they use it. But yeah, I think this is, for this kind of stuff, if you limit this to 1, I think it will put the whole DPE engine in check at least, and it will at least like reduce the potency of it. But yes, going back to the Recital Styling, I think this will give good control to the Bird Up players, making the deck a little less consistent. At least you open the hand, that's the hand you get, unless you make this, Then we have, for limited, Rocket Tracer to 1. I know this is, some people will think this is a bit weird, and they're like, why, what? Rocket Tracer? You know, it does nothing. But also, I think the 1 Rocket Tracer, they need it for their synchro plays, because I think a lot of the potency does come with Savage Dragon, and does also come with Borrowed Savage, and also comes with the Chaos Lord, which allows you to mill 5 and search in your hand trap. So I think this will reduce the consistency just like by quite a bit. So that is probably something you can limit to 1, because if you're able to get rid of it quickly, or if you don't draw it, it kind of makes you play also 2 other cards in your deck that could be bricks, I guess. But there's so many dragons, I don't know. It's hard to see what to hit in the Dragon Link deck. Possibly bringing this to 1 and maybe reducing the amount of safe hits you play in the deck. Maybe semi-limiting safe hit. That could be another option. But I think this might be an option to put the deck in check. I don't know. You can criticize me on the comments if I'm wrong. But I think it's a nice option to try. I don't know, because the deck has been around and they've hit it so many times and it's still going nuts. So you tell me. So next up, we have, for the limits coming back, we have Thunder Dragon Colossus. I know, some people are like, no, this is dumb, don't do this, what are you doing? Yes, it probably is stupid, but it will be really cool to see this, because Thunder Dragons really fell out of contention. I mean, some people are playing like a 60 card Thunder Dragon with a Titan build, and then they go like full Chaos build and stuff like that. But I think bringing Titan back to 1 will be Colossus back to 1 will be quite interesting for the meta. I mean, a lot of decks nowadays lose to Draw and Lockbird, which is really prominent, and this being a walking Draw and Lockbird, I mean, especially with droplets and Dark Ruler no more being around, this is really, really good, just in today's day and age, and can still be outed with the imperms and the chalices and everything. So I think this can come back to at least 1, and we'll see what we can do with it. If it's still a problem, obviously they can hit it again, but I don't know. I feel like Konami has this like big play testing pod where they literally test like what would happen if this card came back, and they'll play test like a whole bunch of decks where they spam it in it, and then if it works, or if it's too potent, they don't do it. I don't know. But I feel like we could see this come back to 1, and I think a lot of Thunder Dragon players who spent a lot of money on the deck would really be happy to bring this back. Anyway, moving on to our bans. As I said, Arch Nemesis Protoss for the Sword Souls, because this is searchable. It's a real problem for the deck, I think. I think it's something you gotta watch out for. That was weird. I think it's something you gotta watch out for, especially the fact that it can just call any attribute and stop your opponent from summoning. Like people are complaining, it's a Vanity's Emptiness, which is really quite the issue. And all you need is 3 different attributes in the grave, and it's searchable, which Sword Soul can get off quite easily. I mean, I think this is like the main unfair thing in Sword Soul. A lot of the Sword Soul stuff is fair, but I think it's just very, very consistent, which is why it is so good right now. But I think this is like one of the main unfair things in the deck that just turn your opponent off from playing altogether. You know, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see a ban of this. I know also the other card people are arguing about is Imperial Order, but I don't think Imperial Order would get banned. I'm sorry, guys, I really don't think it will, because literally there are so many power spells in today's metagame that even if you play even if you play like there's droplets, there's Dark Ruler no more, there's Lightning Storm, there is Mystic Mind. These are really powerful spells that can be quite problematic and make going second insanely good, and the only way to stop them is something like Imperial Order, because anti-spell isn't as strong enough. And I think if cards like Mystic Mind and stuff like that still exist, I think Imperial Order has the right to as well. So unless you're planning on doing a whole shakeup of these like really strong power play spell cards that are so good for going second that you need stuff like Imperial Order, I think it's just, you know, it's something that still needs to be in the game, sadly. I mean, I understand Protoss getting hit, that's fine, but I don't think the Imperial Order is going anywhere. That's just my perception of it. Anyway, moving on to the bans, I think we're going to see Cyber 8 Ben 10, because literally Drytrons are going insane still. If they end up going first, they make an insane combo and everything stops. It's literally just so good. So I think this will be a problem right now. Oh, speaking of which, there's another card that might be problematic and could get hit. I'm literally thinking of all of these now halfway through my video. So yes, I think Ben 10 is something that is possibly going to get hit, just to keep the Drytrons in check, because they abuse this quite a lot with being able to search all their fairies and Eva and everything. So this might be something that will be completely banned on the ban list. And the second last ban, because I have one more, I think is going to be Simorg. The bird of sovereignty. Yes, I know people are like, what? This is weird. I understand, and I remember I was on the wind barrier statue chest not so like train not so long ago. But the main issue is untargetable stuff, because literally not being able to target something is pretty good. I mean, Dragoon is insane because it can't be targeted, but I mean, yes, it can't be destroyed as extra, but there's so many targeting effects that actually remove cards off the field, and that's why it's so hard to get rid of stuff. And this, even though it's 2,400 attack, it is still a monster to get over and really, really difficult. And not being able to target it is really, really, it's insane. Like the only thing that can get rid of it is something like maybe droplets or Dark Ruler no more, so then you can target stuff, or like kaijus or something like that. But then it's still backed up with everything else, and everything it points to is, and it can't be targeted. So like Bird Up really do abuse this thing quite a lot. I don't know. I don't think this thing will get hit, but I think it is quite a card to keep an eye on because of that non-targeting effect as well. And the summon from the deck every end phase is pretty strong as well. So that's something to look out for, I think, with regards to what's going to happen to this card. I think it will put a lot of Wing Beast decks in check. As I said, Wind is currently a really good meta contender deck right now. And the last card I was going to talk about that might be banned, could be banned, Artifact Scythe. With DPE in the game, Artifact Scythe is a problem. Yes, I agree. It is. It is not fun. I mean, maybe they're gonna find ways around it because everyone's playing it now. Scythe has times where it comes in and out of meta, and I think a lot of the meta decks are extra deck based. So I think Artifact Scythe is going to be one of those things that could get banned depending on what happens, but in this situation I'm not so sure, depending on how they hit the decks. But this could be something that's looking at a ban sometime soon, unless the meta shifts up a lot and plays around this. Maybe with the Fusion Destiny going to 1, it won't be as powerful and as much of a problem, but a lot of people are abusing this with the Dagda play, especially with the combo decks right now, decks like Phantom Knights. If you hit this, Phantom Knights don't really need to be hit because they don't have as much to play around with regards to spell and I mean, they already lose to like spells and traps and stuff, so they're already really struggling. This is the only thing that kind of locks your opponent out of being able to play. So I think this we could maybe see a hit of, depending on how people are going to, how the ban list is going to turn out. I feel like a lot of the stuff that are being banned, that will be banned on this list, will be dependent on which route Konami decides to go. Because a lot of the times, like if you had to ban something like Imperial Order, then I feel like they would have to ban something like Mystic Mine. You know, it's that kind of like toss up of cards that I feel could become that sort of thing, you know, and this is really dependent. It's a very iffy ban. I don't think it will, but it's a possibility. So watch out for the Scythe. And yes, that's everything that's in my prediction list. I probably missed out one or two things. I'm not 100% sure, but if whatever you guys think is gonna be added to that, whatever you guys agree with, let me know in the comment section below. And thank you so much for your support this year, guys. And from me, Frisby, Moonsong, and obviously Denglong. Let me, you know what? Let me get Denglong up here to say goodbye to you, because we might see him next year. Denglong, here we go. Let's go. Let's go for Denglong. There we go. There's the boy. Oh, look, they got statues of it in here as well. But yes, from me and my buddy Denglong over here, we're gonna say for the last time not for the last time, please. For the last time this year, from me, Frisby Moonsong, I'll see you guys in the next video next year in 2022. Cheers, guys. Yow! You can do that too, by the way.